Coach Mangini is back. Coach, good to see you. Brew, do you think Rodgers needs a preseason snap?
Well, allow me to translate first.
Okay.
We haven't really talked about it. My instinct is we'll see. It means Aaron hasn't told me yet whether or not he wants to play in the preseason. You not laughing?
No,
that was
a
the
joke.
joke. Did you laugh? You laughed.
Wow.
Did you laugh?
That was a
That
joke?
was the joke, or are you
No,
serious?
it's true and it's funny. It's funny and it's true.
That wasn't even
It is
formatted
true.
like a joke. I thought you were just giving a take.
No, I mean, it is true. It's my
I'm
take.
shocked.
Can I just
But
real
it's
quick,
funny.
disappointed.
too.
if people
It's funny.
weren't tuning into the very top of the show, Brew
Great one, bro.
teased that in the Jets segment, he's going to make Kevin Wildes laugh.
Yeah, he had a funny
He
take.
had a funny take. Okay, got it.
It
Brew.
is how I truly believe that.
But you also think it's
But I
whimsical
thought it was
and
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, go ahead. All right.
You don't believe that's
No,
the truth.
let's just stay on
If
track.
Aaron goes up to him and says, "Look, I want to play with the third preseason game," he's playing, all right? And that's what Saleh clearly gave you. But no, he doesn't.
Now
he
he's
doesn't.
laughing. He gotta play.
He doesn't have to
And
play.
just hit a little bit after.
Go ahead.
What is this? His 20th year? I mean, come on. He's 40 years old. I think he'll be fine. And I mean, again, it will be up to him. If he wants to go out there and get a few reps, I think Saleh will give it to him. If he doesn't say anything or doesn't want to, he obviously won't play. And I think the coaches, I do think Saleh will be a little worried that if he goes out there, and it would be no fault of Saleh's, but if he got hurt, Saleh would get crushed for it. And I think he understands that. So I think he's hoping he doesn't want to play, but we'll see, as he said.
Yeah, the one thing you have a lot of time of, or a lot of in training camp is time with the players. So like to say that you haven't had time to talk about whether or not you're going to play in preseason, you're literally with them all day, every day. And it's you can walk up to him and say, yeah, and have that conversation at any point. So I thought it was extremely funny, Brew. I'm glad you teased it. I laughed hysterically at the fact that Aaron Rodgers probably hasn't told him whether he wanted to play. And I think that's really the case. It's, should he play in preseason? I don't know. Go ask Aaron. What does Aaron want to do? Does he want to go to mandatory minicamp? I don't know. Does he want to do this? I don't know. Like, whatever he wants to do, he's going to do. But it is the age-old question of rest versus rhythm. And there's the constant battle of, if you play the guy and he gets hurt, you're dumb. If you don't play the guy and he goes in and the first game is sloppy, then that was a dumb decision. And you can put him in at any point. He could get dinged up. You really want him in bubble wrap. This is another year where the offensive line is in flux for the, 15th straight year, whatever it is with the O-line. So that it's a difficult situation where you want to strike the right balance. But at this point, you might as well just save his reps for the regular season.
So I'm baffled by this. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, then I don't understand the justification for not getting some live reps. I don't understand it. Because last year, your plan was get him live reps.
Yeah.
You now have new offensive linemen. You have new weapons. According to the boots-on-the-ground reporters from The Athletic, the center is having odd snapping issues. The offense has been today it seems like it was different, but the offense has been sloppy and really behind the defense in training camp. Now, I do understand that's pretty typical early. No, I understand that's typical for most teams early in camp, but particularly a team with a great defense. I get that. Saleh was asked, and we can show you the quote, about the offense not being together. There's still a lot of overthinking going on with regard to the playbook. We're installing, we're teaching techniques, we're fine-tuning. All start worrying after the Giants preseason game, which is their final preseason game. All of those things to me would say, our quarterback who has had less game reps than any week one starter across the league than any of them. Because last year the rookies were playing in college. There's no backups that are starting. Rodgers missed last year. I don't know why you wouldn't play him if he's fully healthy. Well, I just don't get it.
Look, with that offensive line and with transitions in the offensive line, you want to make sure that those guys are solid before you put your start. It may be your starting group, and you always play the starting group with your starting quarterback to make sure he has the maximum amount of protection. But until you feel like they're working well together, they're communicating well together, and you can't control the preseason. You can go into a preseason game, and the other team decides that's the game they're going to blitz every play. You know, there's no, you practice things in the preseason, and typically there's one game where you say, okay, this is the game where we're going to light it up. So if you put him in that game and your guy's not ready and he takes a hit for, you know, in a meaningless game, then
and he's only
going to
play, what, 2 series? I mean, I hear you. I think ideally you just get him out there, get him warm. But for a guy that's 40 that has all his experience, I don't think it's going to make or break him playing a couple series.
I think Coach, again, my feelings won't be hurt. I'm not worried. So if this is dumb, you can tell me.
I usually worry about
I know you do.
So
but is there, even if it was, we're literally only going to call running plays. But what we're going to do is we're going to call pass plays in the huddle, and Aaron knows we're checking to a run every single time. Just to get the communication with the receivers, the communication with Tippmann, Aaron, change the protection and check to a run every time. Aren't those types of things for a guy who has never played a snap of competitive football with these 10 other guys before you play the San Francisco 49ers in week 1 and that defense? Wouldn't that be useful even if he never throws the ball? Well, like, isn't there something to be gained from that? Or I could be dumb.
There's potentially something to be gained for that. Like, that's the argument for playing Caleb in the early preseason game, the Hall of Fame game, is he's never operated at all in a pro football game. The difference with Aaron Rodgers, he's done it a million times. I'm not worried about him mechanically. You may have to worry about him, the O-line mechanically with him.
That's what I mean.
At the start of the season.
It seems like him and Garrett Wilson have been miscommunicating regularly at practice.
Well, yeah, I don't. My concern would be more with the O-line, with the cadence, the anxiety, the pressure that comes with the first game. You know, there's those butterflies, that type of thing that you'd want to try to work out a little bit.
They're going to get rolled week 1, Coach. They're just going to get rolled.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I mean, I thought they were going to get rolled week 1 last year when he went down. They found a way to win.
Josh Allen throwing the Jets the ball. You were okay. 49ers.
Defense, admit it.
Well, Brock Purdy.
A little bit of defense.
Brock Purdy's been throwing the other team the ball lately. So
Purdy went into Pittsburgh and won the game first. He was pretty good. And then the monsoon game they lost though with Trey Lance, but you know. Okay, your reaction?
We talk more about Aaron than we do about almost any other player in the league, and it took Solomon Thomas for us to get the perfect comp, so I appreciate that from him. Because this, I imagine it is exactly like what it was like if you were on the Washington Wizards with Michael Jordan, or if you were on the Lakers post-Achilles tendon for Kobe Bryant. A once great player who looks the same, carries himself the same, and then when the games start playing, you'll realize, oh, he's not the same at all. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's how Solomon meant it, but it was kind of perfect because we saw Michael around this age, different version of himself after some time off, and he wasn't the same. We saw Kobe, sadly, post-Achilles, want to be the same guy, try to be the same guy, carry himself like the same guy, and wasn't the same. So I'm buying this comparison 100%, but I don't know if it's the way he meant it to be bought. What?
That was a pro-LeBron GOAT talk.
No, it wasn't.
We know that's all.
Had nothing to do with LeBron.
Because here's the thing. Here's the big difference between Wizards Jordan and Lakers Kobe, late Lakers Kobe. They didn't have talent around them. This team actually had, the Jets have some talent. Like,
but those players
they have
were also
some
not
real.
The same.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
they weren't. But still, like those Wizards, nobody was thinking they were going to have a chance to get to the finals, and same with Kobe's Lakers. So that's different. And here's the other thing. With all due respect to Aaron Rodgers, who is a legend, and we all know one of the greatest ever, Michael and Kobe won consistently. All right, 6 rings, 5 rings. Aaron Rodgers, and he's got the 1 ring, of course, but Aaron also has his moments, particularly in conference championship games, where he hasn't shown up. You can't say that consistently about Kobe and Michael. All right, so I think a more appropriate one would have been in Kevin Durant. Like, this is what Kevin got his rings, so he's a champion and he's an all-time great. But he's also had some moments. Golden State 2016, when he was playing for OKC, they dropped the 3-1 lead. The close sweep in Brooklyn where they lost to the Celtics in 4 straight games, and he got outplayed by Jason Tatum. So I think that's a more appropriate comparison. But I think what he's saying, Coach, is, look, when you got an all-time legendary player on your team who's older, it lifts everybody's
Yeah, but aren't Kobe and
competitiveness.
Jordan top 5 all time, maybe top 10? We're
Yeah,
talking
they
about
are. I mean,
all time of all players.
But he's a
And then
right.
there's
He's a
Aaron.
top 5
So
quarterback.
Aaron's a great
maybe.
player. Is he one of the
Little
top
much.
10 greatest players to ever play the game?
No.
I don't think so.
So Kevin Durant.
I liked it.
Kevin Durant.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.